Welcome back. Here we are at another 26 and 21. So this week we are going to be diving into the fabric stash and creating a quilt from fabric that I already have so that we can do a quick, easy, and awesome quilt to kick off this first project post-move. So we are going to be doing the Eden Rose Villa Rosa pattern. So it's got rectangles. I'm going to make it wider. So let me start by saying that. So it's just got a bunch of rectangles, 8 rectangles across, 5 rectangles down. So I think I'm going to make it bigger so that it can be a little more lap size, but back to that later. So when I was in high school, I was a band kid. So every year since I was in band, we've had a January crab feed. That was a big fundraiser for the program to get us through the concert season and into the fall. It was our big fundraiser. And in the later years after I graduated, it was something that I made quilts for that acted as a silent auction item and helped them raise money for the program, because I wouldn't have the friendships that I did and everything if I wasn't in band. So last year they may have had one. I have to check on that, but I did make a quilt last year. This year, 2021, they didn't have one, so I may have had one. I have to check on that, but I did make a quilt last year. This year, 2021, they didn't have one, so I still wanted to make a quilt for them and somehow figure out a way that they can raffle it off and help raise money for the program for the future to come once we get out of this COVID situation. So the Eden Rose I thought would be an awesome scrappy music quilt like the ones I've done before. My high school's colors were black and gold, so I've done kind of a lot of them in a black and gold and black and white and kind of an off-white color that have all music themed fabrics. So here is my fabric pull. So we started with a spin. That's all where I keep all my music fabric. So I have this drawer that's always been where when I buy fabric or when I see good music fabric that's not cheesy or hokey or anything, I usually get about a yard, yard and a half, 2 yards, depending if I'm really loving it, and it ends up in the bin to get used and then become into different projects. And then once things are left over, into the bin it goes. So I've got black and whites, I've got some reds from other project. I've even got, let me find one of my favorite ones that I have yet to use. I've got these music frogs that I thought were super fun. So someday I'll make a quilt with these musical frogs. Anyways, so I already went through and kind of pulled some of my fabrics to use for these rectangles. I love the scrappy look of it. So here is my fabric pull so far. I might add in some like black or white blenders. This one's got some treble clefs on it. We've got some little instruments. This one would be fun to fussy cut. Oh, let me show you the right side. So we've got some different instruments. I think that would be fun to fussy cut into the different rectangles. I was in color guard when I was in the fall, so, and concert percussion. Here's some off-white music notes. This one's got some words. I got these last two when a local shop closed last year. I've got these piano keys, little piano keys, and some big piano keys. Got some black and white music notes. I think that looks really cool. Usually we're used to seeing the black notes on the white music sheets, but I think that's so cool to see it reversed. I've got some longer piano keys. I think they could run this way. We've got some black and white kind of patches, and then here's in more of the off-whites. This one's fun, all treble clefs and some music staff. This one's one of my favorites, where it's got the gold and the blingy. I got a silver one of this too. Silver's more my color personally, but that one's a good one. Got some hearts, some little instruments. I feel like I've had this one for a while, since like Hancock Fabric closed. And then I feel like I may have inherited this one from my grandma at some point, but It's a good one. More instruments. So there's my fabric pull, and once I get cutting, I think I'm going to decide whether to put a border on it. We'll see how big it ends up without the border, since I am going to enlarge the number of blocks anyways. So you got eight in each row, 5 rows tall, 8 this way, 5 rows tall. So I think I'm going to see how 10 across, 6 down look, to see the size of that, and then decide whether to add borders or not. So let's get cutting.